started saving for a retirement at 22. Messaged the now love of my life after accidentally finding her on Twitter. Hadn't spoke to the girl in 3 years before that. Quit my job and started my own company. To keep the baby. Getting treatment for social and general anxiety disorder. My life was consumed by it. I'm a new person now. Recently, I told my best friend and crush of 15 years how I felt about her. I got shot down, but now I couldn't be happier because now I know how she feels. Quit weed. Took an internship for a position that interested me over a much higher paying job that I hated. I've got more than enough money to live, and I love going to my job every day. Postponing my wedding when I wasn't ready. She broke it off a few months later. I'm often grateful that I didn't marry her. Started to play guitar. After so many years of dreaming, I finally went out and bought one someday, and I've been playing obsessively ever since. Going back to college after 10 years as a construction worker. This is going to be downvoted to oblivion, but making the decision to not get into any romantic relationship or even have feelings until I make something of my life and fulfill my dreams. As much as I hate to admit it, joining the army, it has led me to some interesting places with interesting adventures, and overall I don't think my life would have been nearly as good without it. The Insanity workout program, just finished it Saturday. I've lost 32 pounds and I'm continuing my journey with P90X starting tonight. Moved almost 2,000 miles across the country to start over. I quit my first job out of college and got into working in higher education. I'm 29 now, and I still don't make as much as I did when I was 23. A word to the wise for you recent college grads. Yes, there are those that are able to find a job they love and make a lot of money out of college, but that is not always the case. Follow your passion, not the money. I quit my job, sold all the stuff in my apartment and left my country to work abroad for a year. Well, that was the plan. 6.5 years and 5 different countries later, and I can tell you it was the best decision I've made. Met tons of great people. Asking my now boyfriend out on a second date after the first date didn't go so well. Choosing my son over my military career. I was a mediocre soldier and a mediocre spouse, but I'm a good father. Moving halfway around the world for a guy I met playing World of Warcraft. Keeping finances separate when I was married. We had a joint account for household bills, but we each kept our own checking and savings account. Easy peasy, going to work for myself. I risked everything I had at age 42 to go into business, competing with my old company. Was once down to $800 to my name and wrote a 30k sale that day. Closest I ever came to being broke for good. 17 years later, I'm almost retired and live very comfortably. Hundreds of sleepless nights, a drinking problem, and quite a few near misses on the divorce front in between. But worth it. Travelling around the world and living in other countries. I joined a running club at the end of the pandemic. It keeps me healthy and helped me make real adult friends, as hard as that is. My entire life has changed in the last couple of years, and the club has been a huge part of that. Getting a golden retriever puppy. That was 11 years ago, and now I have 3. So much happiness and love. Accepting an accidental friend request from the woman who'd eventually become my girlfriend. Honestly, getting my vasectomy. Finally got one when I was 29. I'm 31 now. I knew since I was a teenager that I didn't want kids, even adopted ones, so I made an appointment. Got snipped, made absolutely sure I was completely empty after the 3-month checkup, and my wife and I have never had a pregnancy scare once. Thanks to my work insurance, it was only $45 rather than $1,000. We're perfectly fine with our cats. I stopped watching the news. My no regrets tattoo. Sometimes I'll start to regret something, then see it, and be like, no, the tattoo is right. No regrets. And I keep crushing it. Changing my major. I have so much more motivation for school now that I actually love what I'm studying. Probably laser eye surgery. I literally woke up the next day with 20/20 vision. 13 years later and I still have 20/20 vision. It took me days after the 2-minute operation to completely forget I even wore glasses. Deciding to lose weight after realising I had somehow lost over 15 pounds from helping my aunt move out over the course of a month. Getting blood test results back and finding that I've narrowly escaped a diabetes diagnosis is a good motivator too.